Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Michael. I want to talk to you about some of my top tips on time management and just really this business, which really could be applied to any business, but certainly what we do as coaches. And sorry for the steering wheel and being in the car. I think that's I wanted to show you that this is the way it works. This is the magic. This is the secret sauce. Is time management and utilizing the time that you have available and getting the most out of it, because there's plenty of time, which I'll talk about, or there's no time, which I'll also talk about. So let's get right down to it. So building a business is about leadership, and that leadership requires added responsibilities, and that always starts with self-leadership. It's really taking control of yourself, your own actions, and your own life, so that you can better pass that on to other people. And that's such an important point that I really want to grasp hold of, because if you miss that part of this, then you're really missing a lot of what it takes to build a business or to be successful at any high level in anything you do, really. So it's kind of like that ownership. It's taking ownership of yourself, because when you have your own business, it's very much moving from, a lot of people are familiar with the employee mindset, whereas you work for somebody. You might punch in, punch out, but essentially you are working for somebody else, a boss, and this is 180 degrees in the opposite direction. You completely control how it all goes, how your day goes, how your business goes, and what happens to your future, right? So time is everywhere, and let's just get that off the bat, right? Or it's nowhere. I mentioned that when I first started talking, is that you can either treat this like I don't have any time because you choose not to see it, or you choose to maximize the time that there is available, because there's 24 hours in a day. Yeah, you're sleeping a part of that, of course, and you have all the things, like you have the full-time job, or maybe you don't, but I'm assuming a lot of people do. You have a full-time job. You might have kids, and you have a house to take care of, and you have hobbies and sports, and it goes on and on. Laundry and cleaning and cooking and all the things in life, right? We all have them. Most people have them. So there's still plenty of pockets of time. Other people are doing it. Like it's been done. I've done it. I saw other people do it. It's what inspired me to take action and ownership and leadership, so that I can be where I am. I treat it like a child, if you will, that needs care and nurturing, and every day needs support, and it needs something to keep it going. It needs, these are like vital activities that it needs to keep going. And so while it's not as important as my kids, in a sense, I treat it like a child. And that matters. It matters because it then dictates the actions you're going to take. So the top tip here is discipline. Discipline matters. Okay. There are doers and there are don'ters. That's a famous Sagi Kalev line that I love. You're either a doer or you're a don'ter. You're either willing to do what it takes or you're not. So let's get into that, because that leads right into time management, which is really what this is all about, is time management. And it's breaking down your day. It's looking at your day and saying, okay, where do I have time in my day to get the business activity tracker done, the BAT, those activities that are vital to the success of my business, right? So I want to look at my schedule, and I'm going to try to, as best I can, find time that I can schedule in. Now that might be in the morning before the house is awake, getting up earlier and and starting to check off what activities can be done in a small pocket of time, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Maybe it's your personal development when you first wake up. Maybe it's answering messages when you first get up. Maybe it's doing connecting first thing in the morning and checking that off your list. It really is a matter of saying, okay, that's something I can control. I can control the time that I get up and the activities I get done. Maybe it's getting your workout done first and foremost and knocking that out of the park. A lot of people do that, and that's that's important. It's just because we're proofs the product work, right? Okay, so the time in which you spend doing your own business will change. Like your own activities will change as you grow in rank. From the new coach who's spending pretty much all their time on their own customers and bringing on new people, to maybe the Star Diamond coach and the 5-star and up coaches who are working with other leaders, helping them more build their business. But it's important that you understand, as a new coach, as an Emerald, building up to Diamond, that you are making sure that the activities that you need to get done are getting done before you're kind of helping everybody else. So think of the airplane scenario where the air drops from the ceiling and you need to put on your own mask first so that you can start breathing, and then you can help the people around you. Okay, so that's kind of how you want to treat your business. And that leads into the next point, is treating your business like a true business. And when you work for somebody else, as I mentioned, like when you work for somebody else, you have to show up or else, right? There's a consequence for not showing up every day and doing your work. Well, ask yourself, would I hire me based on the activities that I'm doing? Or would I fire myself? Like what kind of employee would you consider yourself if you were working for, you're working for somebody else and this is the effort you put forward? Is that everything you have? Is that the best you can do? And I kind of look at that and say, okay, well, if I have to show up for work every day and from this hour to this hour and I have to do X, Y, and Z, well, I want to treat my own business with even more, love and care than I would something that I don't even own, right? So I think it's interesting when we have that employee mindset where we show up for other people, maybe not even with the right passion, but we do it. We get the job done. But yet we won't do it for something that we can control and we can really move the needle forward and change not only our lives, but a lot of people's lives that we come in contact with. What a powerful gift, and in every way, right? So that means oftentimes making trade-offs. And when I talk about trade-offs, and I purposely use the word trade-offs and not sacrifice, because to me, sacrifice means that I don't want to live sacrificing things all the time. Like that doesn't seem like the right way to do. But I understand that making trade-offs is part of this. And those trade-offs for me was again, for me it was not getting up early. It was staying up late at night after everyone went to bed, or certainly the kids are settled, and then instead of sitting in front of the TV, I am doing work. I'm trading off one thing that's not serving me to the future that I want, and I'm substituting it in with business activities that are going to build my business. And I'm going to get into specifically what those are in just a second, but these are the trade-offs that you're making. It's taking a lunch break right now and making a video here, eating in the car, eating on the run, and not, BSing with people about stuff that's not going to serve me, right? So it's these little time trade-offs that the time is there. The breaks that you have maybe at work, or getting stuff done on your way to work, on your way home, listening to your personal development, or listening to a team call, listening to the National Wake Up Call, listening to a training that's going to better than serve you to move your business forward. It's specific disciplined action that I'm taking because I know where I want to go. I see it before I see it, before I'll ever see it. I literally have the vision of something before I have the vision, but I have to cast that vision. I have to see it before I actually see it. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so trade-offs. Trade-offs is a big part of this. It's bringing my binder that I have every year to soccer practice or a game and doing work when I would normally be doing nothing, sitting around waiting. It's waiting at drop-off or pickup. It's like I said, it's breaks at work. It's lunch breaks. It's different moments of the day where there is time to get stuff done. And then of course at night, right, or in the morning is the biggest time to me where you make the biggest trade-offs. Whereas yes, you could be doing something else, but is that serving this child of yours and helping it grow and flourish into something that eventually you determine that there won't be any trade-offs anymore? You'll be able to set your day exactly the way you want your day. And I think that is so powerful. Like, you control that. Like, you control that. And that goes back to that leadership of yourself before you can lead others, and understanding that power is within you. And you just have to have the discipline to execute that consistently over time when your actions aren't directly correlated to a result. That your return on your investment of time is not going to directly correlate with a paycheck or your business building. Always, that it's never a straight line. You're always going to be putting in more work, especially in the beginning, than you're going to see the return on that work. But eventually, when you stay consistent over a long period of time, you start to see it more. The vision gets clearer. And I think that's so powerful. So let's talk about when you do have this time. I talked about the business activity tracker. We'll wrap up with this, which is you want to focus on income producing activities, IPAs, income producing activities. Are you building and I like this example because when you have time to put towards your business, if it's mostly spent scrolling, if you look at your time spent on your phone or your computer and you have X amount of time on, one of the social media, whatever, Facebook or Instagram, let's just say, and you have all this time there, and what are you doing there? Or are you specifically doing something on that back sheet that is income producing activities? And we talked about vital behaviors, about connecting and inviting and following up, and those are the income producing activities. Those are the things that are going to move the needle forward for you. Obviously, I'm assuming that you're getting your workout in and you're doing personal development, which, by the way, personal development is probably the number one of all of those things because it drives all the other activities. When you're pumping yourself in your head full of the knowledge and the information and the motivation that you need to get the other stuff done. So anyway, I digress. So are you building a retail business or are you building a franchise? Multiple franchises. You can have one store, and that's great, and it's awesome, and we all start with one store, our own store. What's important is that you are building more stores. And look at, like, I love coffee, so I'll just use Starbucks, which is even my favorite coffee, but they started with one store in Seattle, and now they're everywhere in the world. Okay, so there's just an example, but you can use it. You can use any of those franchises. Essentially, that's what you want to make sure you're doing, that you are building your business. You are putting the time, the effort, the care, and the passion that you have for this into something that you might not clearly see just yet, but know that it's been done many times before you. It was the motivating factor for me. If they can do it, I can do it. So it was just a matter of me having the discipline, having my own leadership, right, of myself first, having the discipline, treating my business like a business, and making sure that the time that I do have allotted, because it is there, that I am doing income producing activities. And then that last piece is making sure I am helping other people do the exact same thing so that they can build their own business. Because I don't want to be on an island by myself. It is so much more fun when you're with everyone and you're all doing this together, and you're growing as a team. You are literally growing as a team. And that's the power of this community. That's the power of this business. Unlike so many other businesses, I'm just really excited. I'm glad I got to share this with you guys. If you have time management issues, questions, how-tos, I know it can be daunting to see like, well, I don't have, my day is so full from morning to night, but where there's a will, there's a way. And if you want it bad enough, I'm telling you, it's possible for you. And that's it. That's all I got for today. All right, guys. As always, be the best you, and thanks for listening.